Okay, a student asked the question, can you summarize elasticity? It's a difficult concept, and can you make it simple? So, here's an attempt at doing so. We're going to take a look at our lecture slide, go over what the fundamental formula is for elasticity, show a diagram. This is the slide that gives us the basic definition of price elasticity of demand. And it says it measures the percent change in quantity demanded divided by the percent change in price. So in the numerator is quantity, in the denominator is price. In the numerator, we take the change in quantity divided by the average of the quantities, so we sum them and divide by 2. In the denominator, we do a similar operation on price. Now when we actually calculate this, we can ignore the 2's because they cancel out. So let's take this equation and use an example with numbers to show how it works. We have our formula here. Elasticity equals the percentage change in quantity divided by the percentage change in price. Here's a graph with a demand curve. Our first point is at the price of $10, the quantity demanded is 5. Our second point, we reduce the price by $2, and we have an increase in quantity demanded of 20. Our next step is to calculate, with these numbers, this formula. This is what the calculation looks like. Doing the quantity first, the difference in quantity is 15, divided by the sum of the quantities, 25, and the price, we've reduced it by $2, and the sum is 18. We work this through, and the number is 5.4. We ignore the minus sign. Price elasticities are reported as positive numbers, absolute value. So it's 5.4. Next, let's look at the elasticity along a slightly different curve, and we'll compare their shapes. Here is our second demand curve, D2. The difference is that when we lower the price from 10 to 8, instead of having a small change up to 20, we have a large change up to 40. That said, what we have is a much more responsive quantity to the same demand. So we can see that the numerator is going to be significantly larger since this Q is more responsive. Let's do the math for this. Take the numbers. So for the quantity, it's from 5 to 40, or 35, and 45. The same change in the denominator, and this works out to be 7. Again, it's an absolute value. This number is significantly larger than previously. We worked out 5 for this region and 7. This region significantly flatter, more responsive to price. And that's the fundamental idea. In our lecture notes, we have a slide that has two polar cases. One is where the demand curve is horizontal, and the other where it is vertical. When it's horizontal, it's very flat, has a very large infinite elasticity. And in the other case, there's no responsiveness of quantity, so the elasticity is 0. The basic idea of elasticity is that the flatter the line, the more responsive the quantity is. This line is flatter, the quantity change is much larger as a percentage. This line is horizontal, very large elasticity. This line is vertical, very low elasticity. Elasticity is the responsiveness of quantity to the price change.